That's the way you walk when you walk over there. Boom. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report, or the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast. It is Thursday, June 1st. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Thursdays. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by bullpenpicks.com. Sign up today and follow the top pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. In fact, if I'm looking at my last 100 releases, I'm hitting 55% of my last 100 baseball picks, which is pretty good in the handicapping world. And let's take a look at our top scorer. Yeah, Scott Christensen is still our leader at 764. Art 55 at 705, and yours truly, Ron Raymond, at 635. And those are your top three scorers. And folks, the best part of about this website, absolutely 100% free, and you can follow the top winners each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. Don't forget, you can use the ATS calculator to crunch those numbers if you like analytics. In fact, I'll give you a demo how it works. So today you got the Brew Crew in Toronto facing on the Toronto Blue Jays. So let's go to Milwaukee, and then we'll go to Toronto, and then we'll say survey says, create the ATS result. And you can see we have the home team by winning by 1.34 runs, and the over-under landing on 8.68. And that, in a nutshell, is how the ATS calculator works. And if you're into number crunching, the good thing about this calculator, let's say there's values here that you don't think that are, that pertain to the game today. So you can take them right out, right? So like say, Toronto's a pretty good team, so we'll take out the bottom-ranked teams, and then we'll see if it adjusts the total, 862. And that's how you can do it, right? ATScalculator.com. Check it out today, and maybe use it for the upcoming NFL, CFL, and college football season. All right, welcome to the show. My name is Ron Raymond, a five-time sports handicap champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Beautiful day in the nation's capital. In fact, it says 19 degrees right now, but it's going to get a little bit hotter. And you know what? Hopefully, speaking of hot, hopefully you guys have been hot with your baseball selections. NBA starts tonight, the NBA Finals. You got the Miami Heat traveling to Denver, take on the Denver Nuggets. I got some wicked stats here on the Nuggets. It's going to be tough. I think Miami's in for a dogfight. I think, what did our good friend Denny Green used to say?
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Yeah. They are who they thought they were.
We thought they were.
Exactly.
And we let them off the hook.
Yeah, and you know what? Boston, Miami almost let Boston off the hook right there, but nope. They survived Game 7. In fact, they dominated Game 7. Let's be honest. That was not a buzzer beater type affair. You had people leaving the TD Gardens in the fourth quarter of that game. But got a great NBA Finals. Going to be a good one. NHL Stanley Cup Finals starts Saturday night. I've already gave you my play. I got the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup in 6. And we got 7 baseball games today. So with less baseball action going on, I'm going to handicap some of the games, and I'm going to talk more about the strength of schedule power rating. And you can see it right there on your screen. I got this, I get these creative ideas sometimes. Well, it's not really creative, but the thing is, whenever you're dealing with analytics and computers and websites, you got these ideas in your head, but they got to transcend to the programmer, into the system. And we did have a strength of schedule, but I had to tweak it. And I'll show you guys that in just a few minutes. But yeah, so we got a good show lined up here today.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Hey, as we always do, we're going to kick it off with the horse races. But I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody who tunes in to the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast. And, this show, it's not like a Seinfeld episode. It's not a show about nothing. It's a show about something. And something that we always try to do here is improve the show each and every day. Tuesdays and Thursdays. And come football season, come about August 1st, we might throw in another date, maybe Monday. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to go Monday, Thursday, and Friday during the NFL football season and college football. And we'll have my good friend Will the Thrill Gil-Melendez, who will be joining us. I still haven't talked to Ross yet, but I'm sure Ross will probably come on Thursdays like he did last year. And we'll bring you the latest and greatest football information for you to make your educated decision on who you're going to pick that weekend in football, NFL, college football, and CFL for our Canadian Football League fans like I am. And speaking of CFL, week 2 of the preseason is going to start. I believe it's tonight. And the next week we kick it off. And if you missed the preview show, we have some previews here on the Canadian Football League. In fact, if you go to the website, I think it's on page 2 now, because we supply a lot of content on this website. And if you go to, where's the CFL? Look at that. So we have so much content, it's probably buried on page 3 right now. And where's the CFL? There it is. Go to page 3, and you can see we have some CFL content, and you've got all the recaps of all the teams, ATS records, and so check it out, atsstats.com, your CFL sports betting headquarters. And you know what? We've got data since 1996, go way back, and our NFL data goes back to 1983. So this ain't our first barbecue. We've been around the block a few times, and hopefully we can help you with your football selections this season. All right, let's go feed some ponies. And today we're going to go to New York, or I believe it's Queens. Belmont Park. No, Belmont, yeah. I'm thinking of Aqueduct. Aqueduct is in Queens. No. They're off and running today at Belmont Park, and then race number 1 today at Belmont. It is a 3:05 post time. It's a $30,000 maiden claiming race, 7 furlongs on the dirt, and we are going to go 7-6-3 in race number 1 today at Belmont, and we're going to support Dale Davis in the saddle on Perpetual Praise. Dale Davis is riding 36% in the money in his last 100 races. In the money just means that Dale has been either first, second, or third in his last 100 races. So 36% is pretty good. And 92 morning line today on Perpetual Praise. The number 6 horse, Spatial Reality. Lascano, I believe it's John Lascano in the saddle here for the number 6. 10-1 morning line on Spatial Reality. 34% in the money for Lascano. And Jose, brother Virad Ortiz Jr. is Jose Ortiz. He's 33%. He's going to ride the number 3 horse, Strange Fruit. 8-1 morning line today on Strange Fruit. And the Joker's Wild, the value play of the day is Power and Glory with Carmouche in the saddle on Power and Glory, 4-1 morning line. And if you're going to bet these horses today, I'm going to go with I like Strange Fruit. I'm going to go 8-1 morning line, pretty good. If you got a $20 budget per race, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the number 8 horse, Power and Glory. This way, Power and Glory comes in first, you get paid twice. Comes in second, you get paid once, which is also nice. And you can bet all the races today at Belmont using the Ram Report free tip sheet. That's right, free tip sheet. Go to podcasts, or right beside podcasts to see a horse. Go to free tip sheet in the pull down menu. Go to Belmont Park. And then if you're interested in the other tip sheets today, we got a lot of races today going. You got Belterra, Charlestown, Churchill Downs, Delaware Park, Delta Downs, Evangeline Downs, Hawthorne, Horseshoe Indianapolis, Penn National. You got Remington Park, Sam Houston, Thistledown, Woodbine here in Toronto. Well, I'm in Ottawa, but over there in Toronto. And you can bet all our premium tip sheets right here at atsstats.com. All right, good morning to Who's Mizzou's in the house. You got Scott. Good morning, everybody. Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton this year is the Grey Cup right in our backyard. Yeah, the Grey Cup for this season will be at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and which is good because at least in Hamilton in November you might get some good weather. You might get good weather in Hamilton. It's not like Winnipeg or Calgary or Edmonton or even Saskatchewan, right? But if you get closer to the East Coast, Ottawa can be hit and miss in November, but Toronto, you got the Sky Dome or the Rogers Center, so you're in the dome. But they play at BMO, but you can put it in the dome, right? To me, if you're going to play football, and here's the argument, right? You play in all the elements, and is there really an advantage? Yeah, there is. In Canada, when you're playing on outside, or you playing in the stadiums, in the domes, say in Vancouver, Montreal, or Toronto, then you got yourself a nice cozy Grey Cup for the fans, and the players too. So all right, should be a good one for the 2023 edition of the CFL season, which is going to kick off next week. But preseason number 2 is going to start tonight. I believe they start tonight. Let me take a little check there on CFL.ca. Hey, a little plug for the Canadian Football League right there. If you want to see the standings, go to CFL.ca. And preseason, my Ottawa Red Blacks are in Toronto. Beat those Argos. And then tonight you got Calgary and BC. Tomorrow you got Hamilton and Montreal. And then tomorrow night you got Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. Should be a good tilt right there. in Winnipeg. All right, so let's get to let's go to baseball, and then we'll do the NBA Finals at the end. So, well, you know what? Before we do baseball, I'm going to show you the power rating. So, I wrote this article this morning. It's based on the strength of schedule, and I'm really big on strength of schedule, right? I think when you're looking at handicapping teams, you know, the Raymond Report is based on value, percentage play, performance cycles. Well, that's where the strength of schedule comes into play, right? I think that the strength of schedule is a huge factor when you are handicapping your games. And if you go to your dashboard, if you've got a membership at atsstats.com, hey, why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you have a membership at ATS? Go to betting tools at the bottom right here, go to strength of schedule, and we did a little tweak here to the strength of schedule. Now, if you scroll right down, and I cut and pasted into my Excel sheet this morning, and I'm going to give you a little how I summarize and analyze the strength of schedule power ratings, right? So let me just go down here. Major League Baseball. So the current season, so Arizona 33-23, they got a win percentage of 58, the losing percentage of 41. But the teams they faced this year all have a combined record of 47.3%, and we produce a power rating, which I can't tell you because that's what makes it special, right? It's the caramel secret, right? Everybody wants that caramel secret of how to win, but our power ratings, you can see also in this column right here, the 7-game cycle and then the 14-game cycle. So the strength of schedule, the last 7 games, 47.9, and the last 14 games, 45.3. Now you look at a team like Houston. Houston, we got a problem? No, I don't think so. Maybe not. Where's Houston? Houston Astros. All right. Last 7 games. Now they played, I think it was Milwaukee, Oakland, and Minnesota in their last 3 games. But that Oakland, that's what brings down that strength of schedule number, right? So when you look at Houston, the last 7 games, they're 4-3. But their strength of schedule is 37. Now let's do the math. If you're playing teams below 500, now let me bring up Houston's record here. Let me go to Houston. I'll go to our dashboard. And I think Houston is playing today. So we'll go MLB. Let's go to the Houston Astros down here, and we'll look at their last 7 games. And we can see that Oakland, Minnesota, and Milwaukee, I think it is. Minnesota, Oakland, and Milwaukee. There, good job, Ron. Yeah, so you can see those combined records. I believe Milwaukee and Minnesota have almost the same record. I think it's like 51%. Let me double check here with my my numbers. MLB standings. Yeah, so Minnesota 51.8 win percentage, and Milwaukee 52.7. All right, so I was off by 1 decimal or one percentage point. But going back to the strength of schedule, you can see that Houston, because they haven't played that Oakland. See, Oakland really brings down their strength of schedule, right? So when you look at the strength of schedule and you're looking at the team right here, and you're saying, okay, strength of schedule is very low. They're playing the beatables, right? You got to beat the beatables, and they're 4-3 in the last 7 against the beatables. And you look at the last 14, they're 10-4. So, from a longer cycle, 14 game, pretty good, 10-4, 37%, which they should be, right? So what does that do to the market psychology? Nothing really, because they're doing what they're expected to do in the markets. They're expected to win and beat those teams that they played the last 14 games, right? In the last 7 games. Now here's one of the hardest parts about handicapping is trying to figure out which cycle has more value when you're handicapping. Do I put more emphasis in a 7-game cycle, or do I put more in a 14-game cycle, right? It's always that dilemma you always have when you're handicapping. You're saying, okay, which one has more credence? Like, which one should I just be more, like, is it more volume better? The short-term cycle better? It's always that million-dollar question, right? And but again, you got to go find that caramel secret in the middle. But I look at the 7-game cycle, and to me, it's a lot of it who's you played, right? Who have you played? Who have you beat? And when I look at some of the teams, let's say Miami 5-2, a winning record, 2 games above 500, and I got a power rating of 57. And so what I've done, let me just show you exactly. Hopefully you guys can see this on the wrong one. Let me see if I get the did I delete it? Here, let me just bring it over here. Hopefully I didn't delete this strength of schedule. There we go. All right. So I'm going to bring it over here. Perfect. Okay. All right. So what I've done, you can see the current season, and I graded through the power rating, and I wanted to see which team from the current season, like here's the overall record of all the teams, their win percentage, their power rating, their strength of schedule, then the 7-game cycle and the 14-game cycle. And I want to see which team, basically, and say in the top 10 are still in the last 7 games, last 14 games. Now, there wasn't that many. And so if you look at Tampa Bay right here, number 1, but they're also in the last 7 games, not good. Look at that. They're 4-3. And they got a power rating of 47, right? And then the last 14 games, now they're crawling up here, even though they won their last game of the series against Chicago. What a game that was. You guys watched that game yesterday at Wrigley? Talk about, was it Beeks or Beeks there? The closer came in, had the bases loaded. I think it was a 3-2 count. And just, you can't, to me, that was such a high drama, it was great. It was an awesome game, obviously, because probably had Tampa Bay and made me feel good on my bullpen picks. But that's why I love baseball. That confrontation between pitcher batter, and it's just a mind game. Is he going to throw a changeup? Is he going to throw a fastball? Is he going to go low and outside on a curveball? It's one of the best things about the game of baseball, the pitcher batter confrontation, right? But looking back here, Texas has been a really good team lately, right? You can see we got them a power rating of 55. Last 7 games, they got a power rating of 60, and then same thing with the 14. So if you've been playing Texas, but the strength of schedule, pretty solid. 55.3%. So in the last 14 games, the Texas Rangers, the teams they face, have a combined record of 53.2%. So Texas has been a good team. Yankees, 9-5, 52% on their strength of schedule. Looking at some of these teams, Miami, 45.9% of the strength of schedule, but there's only 2 teams were really in the 40s. Cincinnati has made, in fact, when you go look at the front page today, I got an article on the strength of schedule and the teams you should be really watching. And we broke it down let me go right here. Where's that power rating? And you can see here the Grand Slam watch. So Tampa Bay leads the win rate of 69%, a power rating of 59, strength of schedule of 49.4. Baltimore and the Yankees follow closely. And you look at the 7-game evaluation, you got Texas and Cincinnati. Cincinnati's win percentage here is 85.7%. So what? They're 6-1 in their last 7. Let's go back to my database right here. Cincinnati last 7 games, 6-1. Market confidence level is high, right? But look at their strength of schedule. Cincinnati 46.2. So getting it done against the beatables, but they're also, what's their overall record? I don't think they don't have a winning record. They got a losing record. Cincinnati on the year. Where's Cincinnati? There they go. 26-23 games below 500. So, a couple of good series here for the Reds, and they can find themselves back. And the good news for the Reds, they're in the National League Central Division, and they're only 3 games behind Milwaukee. In fact, when you look at all the standings in Major League Baseball, let's be honest. Kansas City, Oakland, thanks for coming out. It just amazes me. And we talked about this in the Tuesday show. The American League East Division, not one team has a losing record, but Boston finds himself 10.5 points games behind first place. But so you say we got a chance, 10.5 point chance. But the bad news is that you're playing in the toughest division in baseball. Minnesota got a 2-run lead over Detroit. Detroit, even though they're 25-30, imagine that you're 25-30 and you still got a shot to win the division. And same thing with Cleveland, Chicago White Sox, 7 games behind. It's getting late early, right? What Yogi Berra would say, it's getting late early. Kansas City, 12 games behind. Yeah, thanks for coming out. National League West, American League West, sorry. Texas Rangers, they got a stranglehold with 3-game advantage over the Houston Astros. But Houston, power rating is going up on Houston, right? But the strength of schedule has been in their favor. LA Angels, you know what? I promised myself I'm not going to go on an LA Angels rant this week. I feel like I'm always bashing the Angels, the most overrated team in baseball the last 7 years. Seattle Mariners, 6.5. And Oakland, thanks for coming out. Atlanta Braves, 4 games above the 4-game lead on the New York Mets. The Marlins, 4 games. The Phillies, 7.5, getting late early for them too. Washington, it's going to be tough for the Nationals. They just, they got to be competitive. But it's the National League Central. Anybody's got a shot in this division. Like, it really, when baseball gets to the point of the All-Star break, then it gets real, right? It's like Thanksgiving for the NFL. Once the NFL teams get to Thanksgiving Day weekend, then it starts to get real, right? Same thing in Labor Day Classics and Labor Day here in the Canadian Football League. But I think the All-Star game is where you separate the pretenders from contenders. Dodgers, Arizona. Hey man, I love my under the radar team this year. If you guys remember, Arizona, I said keep an eye on the D-backs this year. That starting rotation is nothing to sneeze at. They're a good baseball team. San Francisco 5.5 behind, sitting at 500. Padres underachieving with all that talent. When you got a team like, it's almost like the Lakers in a sense, right? Remember when the Lakers had all that talent, they just couldn't put it together? It's the same thing with the Padres. They got all this talent, and it's just chemistry. Sometimes, the perfect example, the Brooklyn Nets, you go out and you get all these guys, all these big names, but sometimes, big names comes with big egos, and with the egos, they're just not good team players. And at the end of the day, if you're not a good team player, and you can't take one for the team or know when to be quiet, then, that's what happened. It gets dismantled, right? I think San Diego, how many players meeting have they had? I think the over-under on the players meeting with them is like, 9.5 on the season. But yeah, the best thing you do is you keep quiet and you put your head down and you work. That's the only thing you can really do when you're a pro, right? Go to work and try to make it work. So looking at for the Padres, and then you got Colorado 10 games behind. This is going to be tough, right? When the way Arizona's playing, the Dodgers. So, yeah, back to this schedule right here. So, in the short-term recommendation, I got the Texas Rangers. That's a team you got to be watching out right now, betting. But not inventing the wheel here. New York Yankees, Cincinnati, and Miami. Those are also showing promises. And to me, this is your value play of the day, right? Obviously, Yankees, Texas, they're going to come, with the public darling teams, right? The public perception, the perception versus reality. Those teams, you're not going to get a discount on Texas and the Yankees, but you might on Cincinnati and Miami. And here's the thing: Miami's playing San Diego today. And remember last week when Joe Musgrove went to New York, and he was the favorite. I think it was against Nestor Cortez Jr. I want to say it was and I was like, why is the San Diego Padres favorite in this one? Like, they're at Yankee Stadium. They were, Yankees are normally favored like 90% of their games. And I was saying, like, okay, Musgrove, what does the bookmaker know that I don't know, right? So I'm gonna go look. I think it was the Stash pitching that day. Let me go to San Diego, Miami, and Jesus Luzardo's pitching today for the Marlins, and he's been money too. He's been good all year. In fact, Jesus 4-3, 3.67 ERA on the Marlins, right? But looking back at Musgrove last game, Joe Musgrove, Vasquez, was it Vasquez? Randy Vasquez pitching? No, I don't think it was Vasquez. Maybe it was. For some reason, I thought it was Nestor Cortez Jr. But anyway, he was favorite, and I was like, okay, Musgrove at Yankee Stadium favorite. And then look at the line on that game. I think it was like minus 120, 125. And the same thing over here today. Like, you're looking at Musgrove 120. So Musgrove 120 against the Marlins, Musgrove 120 against the Yankees. One of these things ain't like the other. Hey, anybody out there? Like, I'm looking at the bullpen and I feel like I got crickets. I need crickets going on here. Hey, am I putting you guys to sleep with all this baseball talk or what? Hey, maybe I need to take a couple weeks off or something. Let you guys recharge your batteries. But yeah. All right, let's get on to the games today. And I'm going to use the report card. I'm going to go to my report card. This is one of my first thing I do in the morning is always print out the report card. And I always go check out the key stats that I want. So I go to MLB, and I'm going to go to game matchups, and we'll kick it off with a B-type team against Milwaukee against the Toronto Blue Jays. Minus 192 is the line. Kevin Gausman going up today, and he'll be facing Freddie Peralta, who's 5-4, 4.64 ERA. And you look at Freddie's last start. Yeah, he got rocked quite a bit against San Francisco. Only lasted 2.1 innings. In fact, that was probably his worst outing of the year. 8 hits, 10 runs, 4 earned, 2 home runs, 4 Ks. Yeah, Freddie wants to forget about that outing for sure, right? Freddie wants to forget about that outing. And looking at the Toronto Blue Jays' chances of winning, 62.1% today. And I got a 4.98 against a 3.8 when it comes to the score. Toronto's 14-10 at home this year, where Milwaukee's 13-14. Now, you got 2 B-type teams here in the Raymond Report. And when Milwaukee's on the overall against those B-type teams, they're 11-9, where Toronto's 9-10. Both teams are neutral. They've been neutral now for 9 days for Milwaukee, 4 days for the Blue Jays, so meaning they're 4-3, 3-4 last 7. Strength of schedule for the Brew Crew, 52 and 57.1 for Toronto, but I'm going to lean towards Toronto here today. I do like the Blue Jays in this one. In fact, let me go to the Rain Report, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to cross-reference some of my stats right here. When the teacher talks, we take notes, says John X. Awesome. All right. Yeah, it's just sometimes I'm talking here. It's like, man, I feel like I got to put crickets in here or something. It's so quiet. Eh? That's what happens when you do a podcast alone. You need that banter with someone else. All right. So looking at Milwaukee, strength of schedule. All right. We did that. The Blue Jays at home, 7-15-2 to the under. So keep an eye on that. And let me take a look down here on the played as a road underdog. Yeah, Milwaukee on the road, 10-6 as an underdog this year. And let me see, just looking at the over-under stats, nothing. Oh, look at that. Toronto at home against non-division teams, 11-3. Yeah, kind of like the Blue Jays here today. And getaway day. And Blue Jays only 3-4 on third game of the series at home this season. But look at that, coming off a night game, 2-12-2 to the under. Wow, that's pretty interesting. 5-4 during day games to the over/under. Same thing with straight up factor. So you know what? I'm gonna go Toronto here today. I like the Blue Jays. And who are they going up next? They're going at New York at Citi Field, and they're playing the New York Mets. So little look ahead, right? Going to anytime you go to either New York, the Mets, or the Yankees, it's always exciting because you're playing in New York, right? And Milwaukee's going to Cincinnati, hey. With Bill Belichick. We're off to Cincinnati. Hey, pick up Bill on the way. All right, so I'm going to go with the Blue Jays in game number 1. Let's go to game number 2 between the Philadelphia Phillies against the Metropolitans. Another day game. 1:10 is the first pitch today at Citi Field. You got, let me see here, Taijuan Walker, former Met, going up against Mad Max Scherzer. Now, looking at the report card, you got a C against a B. -170 is the line. I had 179 as my value index right here. 65.4% chance of winning for the Metropolitans. I got a 5.2, 4.03 score. So we do like it to go over the total. Anytime New York's facing those C-type teams with a losing record, they're 24-16, while the Metropolitans, the Phillies against those against New York against the C-type teams, 24-16, where Philly 7-10 against the B-type teams. Not they have a lose. The only time they don't have a losing record is when they play a team that looks like them, right? A team below 500. Both teams are neutral, 8 days and 5 days. And fair market value though for the Mets, you're getting pretty good value on the Phillies. But the bad news is, Phillies are 9-11 the last 20 games. New York is 12-18, 65.4% chance of winning. I kind of like this in the 40s when I'm looking at but I like the value that we're getting today with the Philadelphia Phillies. And let me take a look at Max Scherzer's last few starts. So let me go to Mad Max, 4-2, 3.54 ERA at home this year. Mad Max only one game at home this year. Believe it or not, he's only pitched one game. Unless this stat is wrong here, I don't know. Could that be true? He only pitched one game at home. He's had six starts, and 5 of them have been on the road. Wow. Okay, let me just check out his record. Oh, at Cleveland, San Diego. Okay, hang on here. He faced Cleveland. Yeah, he didn't get a decision. Okay, that's right. So he's had 2 starts at home. One on Cleveland against May 21st, 3 hits, 5 Ks. And then against San Diego, 5 innings. So, you know what? Not a lot of home starts here. What did he do last year at Citi Field? He went 4-2 and 4-2 record, a 0.88 whip. Pretty good whip. and the ERA is 1.67. So you know what, Mad Max likes the home cooking, but I'm gonna go Philadelphia on the run line. I'm gonna take Phillies today, plus 1.5 with Taijuan Walker up against his old teammates, and you know, they're on a 3-game losing streak, so the value's there. The public's gonna be all over the Mets. And this is the thing in handicapping, right? You got a team like the Phillies not having a good run right now, and they're coming off a 4-1 loss. And when you look at the series against the Mets, 2-0 in the first game, 4-1 yesterday. And let me see, the Mets are facing in their next series at Washington, and New York, as we said, is going to host the Toronto Blue Jays. And looking at third game of the series on the road, wow, Philly 1-7. Woo! Holy cow, eh, Harry?
Holy cow!
Yeah, not great. Not really a great record. So, yeah, take a deep breath, grab that bottle of Pepto-Bismol, and take, let's go Philadelphia plus 1.5. That's what I'm going to, hey, card laid, card played. I'm still going to go Phillies, but it's more of a value play than anything for me. But that's why I'm going to get that Geico insurance, and I'm going to take the run line plus 1.5. All right, let's go to our next game, San Diego against the Miami Marlins. We talked about this one, right? Joe Musgrove, minus 120 favorite against Jesus Luzardo. And looking at inside the numbers for this game, you got San Diego at 120, a C-type team, a B-type team in Miami. Over-under 7.5, so touchdown and a hook for the over-under. And looking at Miami against those C-type team, 13-10. Miami's been bullish. And if you look at our strength of schedule, we talked about earlier at the top of the show, Miami's 48.2 last 7 games, their opponents. So that's why they're a bit hot right now. They're facing teams they should be beating. And San Diego's just underachieving all year, right? Well, I gave you my thoughts on that earlier. But going to this one, I got to go against the bookmaker here. I'm going with Miami. I don't know if I want to go run line again. I kind of like getting that Geico insurance. It helps your percentage rate. Let me see here. Arizona. Miami. Where's Miami? There you are. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go another run line game. Miami plus 1.5, minus 163. Musgrove's been solid. Let's be honest. Musgrove's a good pitcher. And looking at his last couple outings, 2-2, but his ERA is pretty high, 5.65 ERA. And when you look at this year on the road, he's better on the road than it is at home. At home, he's got an ERA of 7.43, 4.24 on the road. And if you look at his last outing, his best out. No, not really. ERA is still high, man. The ERA is really high. A lot of hits. Joe Musgrove allows a lot of hits. So in 6 innings, 6 hits. So it's like 1 hit per inning. Right? You want that pitcher that just 1 and out. They made the rules, the pitcher's 20-second clock. I kind of like that, right? They were saying, I was listening to a show on TV, the network, I think it was Baseball Network, and they were saying that the average game last year was like 3 hours and 6 minutes, I want to say, 3:03, and this year it's like 2:37. So I think the pitch count really helps. And you said offense is up, right? So I think the pitch count, it really helps the game speed along, and it's been good. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think it's been pretty awesome. And I think if you love baseball, you don't care if it's 3 hours or 4 hours, right? You love baseball. But people who are not, like anytime I talk to, I talk to some friends or even like some players, baseball's too slow. It's just a different stroke, different folks, right? But again, the thing I love about baseball is the confrontation between the pitcher and the batter. All right, so Colorado taking us. So I do like Miami plus 1.5 here today. Get that Geico insurance. Hey, we should get Geico to sponsor the show. Hey, was it? No, it's not Flo. Hey, Flo, she's the other one. She does the other. I forgot the other commercial insurance. But the gecko. Yeah, it wouldn't be cool. We get the little gecko running across the screen. Hey, with his flag on the pick we're gonna take. That'd be cool. All right, Colorado against Arizona. Today we're gonna go. Let me take out there. You know what? These are 2 teams that I've been riding pretty much the last couple of weeks, Colorado and Arizona. And if you look at Colorado's numbers, especially on the strength of schedule, I thought 54.6. In fact, let me pull up. Let me see, strength of schedule. Go back to the database. See, all these buttons, these are, every time I look at this dashboard page, it reminds me how many years I've been doing this, eh? Because I probably did that in 2006. Oh, I did that feature in 2009 with my main man, my programmer Pradeep. Shout out to Pradeep, who's awesome. All right, let me go. Where was I? Strength of schedule, SOS. Hey, good. It was Sting. Was it the police? SOS. Sending out an SOS. Strength of schedule. All right, there we go. Colorado. There we go. 54.6, lost 7. 54. Power rating of 51, lost 7. 53. And look at their record: 3-4, 6-8, and against good teams. You know what I mean? So the run. This is what I like to. If you're looking for an edge, and you got a team like Colorado, who's a neutral team, right? 3-4, 4-3, lost 7. They've been neutral, and you look at the strength of schedule. Why would you not consider the run line on the Rockies in some of those games, right? Even though they got blown out last night, 6-0, but the day before I think they won. So yeah, Colorado's one of those teams I think under the radar. You can't be betting the Yankees, the Rays, all the time. It comes with a high price tag, right? You got to look for that value edge, and you got to follow. Speaking of value, I didn't look at the I forgot to give you guys the market index today, the SBI. In fact, let's do that right now. Let's go to the SBI. I'm going to have to open up a new tab. There we go. Let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to the SBI, Sports Betting Index. This is my Dow Jones Industrial each and every day. I normally come in here first thing in the morning to give you guys the opening bell. Where's my opening bell here? There it is. All right, there's my opening bell. All right, open up the markets. Yeah, look, see, underdogs. Man, 56% favorites on the year, 44% for underdogs. But look at the underdogs the last 3 days: 58.3, 52.1. And we've been talking about this now for 2 weeks. How the underdogs, and if you're not betting, look at the run line. Holy crap! Oh, where's my Harry Carey? Hey, I need a Harry Carey.
Holy cow!
Look at the green on the ATS run line right here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to contact Geico and say you guys got to be on the show here, because a lot of people are gonna be buying insurance when they're betting underdogs right now. So hey, I can only tell you, I can only lead the horse only 10 times to water to tell you guys that, right? Hey, if you guys hopefully you're picking it up by now. Hello. And Colorado, 36.6% chance of winning. Look at today's starting pitchers. So you got Chase Anderson's going to hit the bump today against Zach Davies. Zach Davies 0-1, 5.68 ERA. Only got 3 starts this year for Zach. And the last start against Boston, 3.1 innings. So yeah, he hasn't really got a lot of innings this year. Chase Anderson, looking at Chase, same thing. 5 innings, almost, last inning against the Mets, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 Ks. No wins this year though for Chase, so could be a bullpen night today in Arizona. In fact, what time is the first pitch today at Arizona? It is at 3:40 start. So what's that? 2 hours difference? Arizona? Is it 2? I think it's 2 hours, right? Or is it 3? I can't remember. But yeah, so early start today in Arizona, and their next game will be against Atlanta at home, and then their Colorado's going to Kansas City. So this is a big look ahead here, right here for Arizona. At home against Atlanta, but it'd be different if they were traveling to Atlanta, but it's still a big game, right? Colorado minus, look at 10, the total's 10. That seems a little high. But looking at Colorado's last 20 games, 12-8, 8-10-2 to the over, while Arizona 13-7, 9-10-1 to the under. So you know what, 50. The Kogo's pretty much balanced. I would imagine. What's the Kogo at? The Kogo 60%. Kogo's at 60%. Chance of game going over the total. That's because last 2 games I've gone under, right? So if you use the law of average theory, that's why your Kogo is at 60% right now. And looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks, minus 170. They are on the season. What's Arizona's record on the season? Let's take a look here. 33-23, 24-33. They've been solid. 63.8%. I got a 5.4 to 4.3. So hello, Geico Insurance. 18-12, 9-9 on the road. And when Arizona plays the C-type teams, they're 20-10. And when Colorado plays the B-type teams, they are 10-14. But you know what? Where's my my strength of schedule? I gotta open up another tab here. I'm gonna show you guys another feature that I always like to go and get. So let me just bring this over here. Go to my dashboard, strength of schedule. Okay, down here, my strength of schedule database. Go to MLB. Let's get Colorado on the road against those B-type teams on the road this year. 4-7, 3-8 to the under. All right, interesting, very interesting right there. The average score is 3.3 to 3.5, so that does help the under if you like the under here today. I just wanted to see if Colorado had a better record, closer to 500. They don't against those B-type teams. So yeah, but you know what? Neutral 3 days for the Rockies. Neutral 6 days. And the thing is, I don't think the starting pitchers is going to be the main factor in this one. This could be another friggin' 10-9. If it was at Coors Field, it'd be like 14-13 type game. I got a feeling the over is where you want to lean here today, especially with that game going under yesterday. You know, I'm a law of average guy, so I think it's going to really come back to the over. Another Colorado plus 1.5. So I know I'm on Toronto so far, Philadelphia plus 1.5, Miami plus 1.5, Colorado. Yeah, so you know what? Here's the thing, Colorado. You don't have to win the game. Just don't lose it by 2. Hey, that's the way you got to look at it. Rocky's been crushing me the last 2 days. Yeah, it's just, but see, last 2 days, right? It's how great point, who's Mizzou. In football, as you guys know, I coach football, and I'm always talking with other coordinators. I'm an offense coordinator, and I say, you know what? What happens with coordinators is it's the same thing with gamblers. You get too impatient. You know, the inside zone run didn't work last play, but they ditch it to the third quarter. Or if they run, you know, this one play, they don't like it, didn't work. And the way you got to gauge your plays is you got to run it like 10 times. And if you're successful, like say if you run inside zone in football and you run that inside zone to the strong side of the field, and you know, each time, like say out of 10 times, you know, you had six of those runs that were positive, even 5. If you run 5 inside zone, you pick up 5 yards on those, that's 50% success rate on the inside zone. But a lot of, you know, they run it twice, they say, oh crap, they're you know, we're getting stuffed, so they abandon it, right? You got to be patient. You got to be patient. And most time when you watch football, the reason why in football you get explosives, they call them explosive plays that are say above 20 yards or more, is because there was a breakdown in the system. Either a linebacker blitzed through the wrong gap, and then, you know, the running back picked the right gap, right? You get these explosive plays based on the chess match, right? It's the chess match. The same thing in baseball, in betting. You know, this is a chess match. So anyway, going back to what you're saying, the last 2 days, who's Mizzou? It's, here's a guarantee. You abandon Colorado today, watch them win or something, right? It's the old bettor's curse. All right, I'm going to go Colorado today. I think the over, too, is where you want to cash that, get that money, right, Randy Moss?
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, let's get that straight cash. Cincinnati against the Bo Sox. Hey, I just like saying Bo Sox. Let's go here. And today, good pitching matchup today in Beantown. You got Chris Sale up against, was it Hunter? Hunter Brown, I think it is, right? Hunter Green, sorry. Hunter Green, 1-4, 4.1 ERA. But look at Hunter Green's last start against the Cubs. Really good start. In fact, he went 6 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 11 Ks. In fact, Hunter's got 21 Ks last 2 starts. So Hunter Green is showing us the green right now. Hey, yeah, that's pretty good right there. 21 Ks last. So good strikeout pitcher. And today, the Chris Sale, the lefty, 5-2, 4.72 ERA. And Chris hasn't lost a game since April 24th against Baltimore. So, you know what? Maybe Chris Sale is back. Hey, I'm back, baby. That's what Chris Sale is saying right now. He's back. And looking at today's game, I'm going to lean with Boston. I do like the Boston Red Sox. You know, you can't go to the well too much on those C-type teams, right? Those, you know, Cincinnati, they are who we thought they were, right, Denny? Hey, where's my Denny Green?
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
And we let them off the hook.
Yeah, C-type team, right? like an old high school sweetheart. You know they're going to break your heart eventually. So C-type team against a B-type team. The bad news is, bad news, good news type thing, right? The bad news is Boston's going through a bearish cycle. So if you look at the last 7 games for the Boston Red Sox, in their last 7, they are 2-5, giving up 4.57 runs against. So pitching's, they need a big performance here today on the bump from Chris Sales. Minus 165 is the line. I kind of like that. You know how I feel about this, right? Whenever I get an overvalued price like 135 and now I'm looking at 165, it gives me a little confidence knowing the bookmaker really trying to get more people to bet Cincinnati, but because the average line should be 135. Today, this line against a C-type team in Hunter Green, that line should be 135 in my view. In my view, it should be 135. And against those C-type teams, they're 12-7. And you know what? No Geico insurance for this one. I'm going Boston on this one. Give me Boston minus 165. I get, maybe the under. Also the under. Good strikeout pitcher, but Fenway Park, man. Hey, I'm a lefty. I would love a batting practice at Fenway Park just to see if I can wrap it around the Penske pole. Hey, anybody play when you're younger? You played basketball or you play not basketball, but baseball or even softball, slow pitch. And you get to hook it. The hook it foul. I would love to shot just to see if I can wrap it around the Penske pole. It'd be like a good hook shot in golf, right? Around on the dog leg right. That'd be awesome. All right, so I do like the Boston Red Sox here today. Cleveland taking on the Twinkies. Cleveland, who are they going to send to the hill today? Where's Cleveland? Cleveland, where are you, Cleveland? Yeah, okay. Tanner Bibby against Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez 3-3, 4.11 ERA, off against a big win over the Blue Jays. My Blue Jays here. And he went 5.2 innings. Don't you hate that, when you're a pitcher? You get 2 out of 3 outs and then they pull you. It's like every pitcher wants to complete an inning. No one wants to get pulled. They don't want that walk of shame to the dugout. They want to get to the high fives when the manager gives you the tap. Right, you're done. And then all the players congratulate you. How to get a congratulations? Well, you'll get it. It's like a pity congratulations, right? When you didn't get the third out. But 6 Ks last start for Pablo Lopez. Pitched with Miami last year. And looking at the inside the numbers, Cleveland minus 140's line today on Minnesota. 8 is the total. Now the strength of schedule for the why do I keep wanting to call them the Cavaliers? The Guardians is 51.8. You know what? 51.8. They had a really tough series in their last game. What was it against? Who did they play last series again? Having a brain fart. A lot of brain farts this morning. Hey, I got a big weekend ahead of me. That's why I got a wedding weekend. Hey, when you got wedding weekend, families in, a lot of stuff going on this week with the Raymond household. All right, Cleveland, Baltimore. That's it. 12-8 win over. They had a pretty good series against Baltimore. Didn't they win 2-3? So they won the first one 5-0, 8-5 against the Guardians, and 12-8, 20 runs. And that's not like the Guardians scores, right? You look at Guardians score 2-1, 3-0, 4-2, 6-0, 4-3, and then that 12. Where'd that 12 come? How many times did they score 10 runs or more this year? Maybe 5 or less. But that was kind of interesting. All right, I got a sweet underdog for you guys. LA Angels money line, says John X. Yeah, kind of. Didn't we talk about that game already? Oh no, it's the next one coming up. All right, hold your horses there, John. We're getting there. Coming back to this game, Cleveland 57.2% chance of winning for Minnesota. I like Minnesota here. I do like the Twinkies. In fact, let me see here. 178 is the line. 140 though. We're getting a pretty good discount. We're getting a bit of a discount here. Let me go back to the Raymond report. So looking at their chance of winning 57, 9-8 at home against C-type teams. Could be better. 5-10-2 against the teams below 500. I think the under is also a consideration. Cleveland, the under is mostly at home, right? 6-19-2. Look at that. Cleveland Guardians at home, 6-19-2 to the under. And what's Minnesota's record as a home favorite? 7-5. Not a great home record, but good defense. 2.6 runs allowed as a road favorite, where the Cleveland Guardians as a road underdog, 6-10, 4.19 ERA runs against. So that's kind of high. That is kind of high. And looking at some of the other stats, for the Guardians, coming off a road win as an underdog, 5-0 to the over. So good news, bad news. Good news, if you like this stat, that's 5-0, it's 100%. The bad news is I like 10 occurrences. At 5, not enough occurrences, right? I like to get at least 10 occurrences. But the other bad news, I don't see any edges here for Cleveland, and we've got a few of them down here for the Twinkies. 15-8 is a home favorite. Also, any home team coming off a 3-game road trip, 7-3, pretty good, 70%. I like Minnesota here. I'm going to go Twins. And I kind of like Lopez on the hill against Bibby. All right, the Halos, John's Halos. He likes the Halos here today. And Reed Detmer, 0-4, 4.93 ERA against Framber Valdez. I think we're on different planets here today, John. I'm on Houston. I like Houston here today. Looking at the report card, 68.1% chance of winning, 5.1 to 3.2. Houston at home this year, 15-13. Not a great home record for the Stros. This should be reversed, right? 17 on the road, 15-13, but probably facing tougher opponents at home. And for LA Angels, 15-14. Yeah, so LA B-type team. We'll see after this weekend if they're still a B-type team. And against the Bees are 9-8, 10-9. Yeah, you know what? From an analytics point of view, LA is looking pretty good for you, John. But 148. Here's the thing. The value index, I had a 148. Look at the bookmaker, 225. What's the bookmaker trying to tell us here? Hey, why does he have 225? Houston at home against those B-type teams we'll do this season 4-4, 2-6 to the under. Only 8 occurrences against the B-type teams. How about their last 15 games, last 2 years? 9-6, 4-11. Look at that, 4-11. I think the under might be where to go, but I'm going to go Houston, and I'm going to go under that. I think the under is really where you want to cash that ticket. All right, let me go to bullpenpicks.com, put in my picks here today for Thursday, June 1st. I'm going to go Gossman here, 58%. I'm going to go with Jesus Luzardo at 55%. I'm going to take a flyer. I'm going to go Philadelphia here. I'm going to go Philly. You can't take favorites all the time, right? I'm going to go 53%. I'm going to go Colorado. I just wish it was a run line, but you know what? Card laid, card played, and you got to take shots. You don't take shots, doesn't happen, right? I'm going to go Boston with Chris Sale. I really like this pick here today. I'm going to go 62%. I'm going to go Pablo Lopez, around the same area. I'm going to go 63%. And I'm going to go Houston low. The only reason I'm going low on Houston, I don't like the price tag. And if people take it, I don't want to get burnt if they lose, right? So I'm going to go 52% on the Stros. You kind of scared me there, John. What do you know? Hey, and there's my picks. Let's see if the people I follow made their selections. Yep, there's Art 55. So he likes Arizona. I like Colorado. So we got one different. We're both on Houston. We're both on Toronto. I like Miami. He likes San Diego. I like Philly. That's expected. Boston Twinkies, right? So yeah, so that's how you use bullpen picks, guys. Check it out. Play. It's free to play. You don't even have to make picks if you don't want to. You can sign up. Go to most followed. You can follow all the top scorer. Even better yet, go to top scorer. Don't even go to most followed. Right? Go to and follow. You want to follow winners, right? As my grandmother used to say, hang with winners, you'll be a winner. Hang with losers, you'll be a loser. But let's go hang with winners right now. On time 34, R55, and yours truly, Ron Raymond. Hawkeyes too, 505. Hang out with these guys, and you'll see your hopefully your bankroll increase. Right now, let's get to the NBA Finals for tonight. We'll go use the Ram report, and I'm going to give you my pick on the series, and I'll give you my pick on game 1 tonight. All right, but before we do, let's handicap the game, and let me know who you guys like today in game number 1. Denver, a 9-point favorite. 219 is the total, and I got a 113-105 score for the Denver Nuggets, and that's where I'm leaning on the game number 1, and I'm going to lean with Denver on the series. You look at the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler is just, if this was hockey, he'd be the Conn Smythe winner, right? Or maybe be between him and Joker. But it's just to be on the road and always, perform like that. it's a hard task, and it's even harder in Denver. Like, if you're going to LA or you're going to, say somewhere that doesn't have like altitude that Denver has, you can get those burning lungs in the fourth quarter, right? And the chance of winning tonight, I got 76.3. But there's one stat I want to show you guys on this game right here. Let me go to my dashboard. Let me go to my trends or 80% club. I'll go to the 80% club. This is like. It was like, holy crap, this is a big, I posted on my Twitter this morning. So the Denver Nuggets are 23-1 as a 7 to 9.5 point home favorite, coming off 2 ATS wins since 1996. 1996, eh? Some of you guys were just, or girls were probably just twinkling in your dad's eye, eh? Wow, 1996, 23-1 as a 7 to 9.5 home favorite, coming off 2 ATS wins since 1996. And this is why I'm saying this is going to be tough for the Miami Heat. Now, when it comes from the point spread, now that's a different, look at Denver, 24-4 against B-type teams. Oh, yeah, that's another thing I want to show you. Let's go to NBA. Let's go to Denver against B-type teams at home this year, 21-4. Straight up. The only time they lost to those B-type teams is New Orleans, Brooklyn, Dallas, and New York. So... And that was like, March 30th, March 12th, and then New York was November 16th and November 5th. Hey, Denver's been considered. They're not. People are gonna say, oh, they're gonna fade. They're not fading. They're not gonna mail it in. That's for sure. I think if you're playing the series, I think Denver wins this series. I say 5. I'm liking Denver in 5. But when it comes to the point spread tonight, that's a lot of points to give up, right? But Denver, 24-1 is straight up. I didn't have a roll. Let me see what Denver's record point spread wise. Let me go back to my super database. Oh, if I go to my super database, you know what's coming, right? There you go. Lounge music, because it takes me a while to find what I'm looking for. I don't want you guys to fall asleep. All right, so let's go Denver. Home favorite of 7.5 to 9. Hey, don't you just love this music? I think it's funny, actually. All right, 6.5 to 9. Current season. Hey. Okay. I can only take so much of the elevator room. Start pulling my hair out. All right, Denver, go get it. This year, 11-2, 7-6. Yeah, I want to see what the over/under. Let me see the last 2 years. Last 2 years. 19-5, 500. So yeah, you're looking at a 500 chance of Miami covering the spread here tonight. Teresa O'Brien, good morning, Teresa, and thank you for the beautiful emoji cons. Hey, I see the sun umbrellas. I see the ocean. Man, I want to go to Florida, but not after I saw what happened at Hollywood Park. Holy crap. I told my wife, I said, hey, there was a shooting on the boardwalk. I said, and she got right away, we're not going back. I said, well, it's probably the safest place to go now, right? Probably the safest place to go because now there'll be more police presence. Yeah, but thanks for the nice emoji cons there, Teresa. Yeah, I love Florida in the winter. Miami, says Teresa. Yeah, maybe I'll go to Miami next year. But all right, so I do like Denver here tonight, guys. Point spread wise, I just when someone is hot like Jimmy Butler, you hate going against it, right? You hate going, but Denver's been off a long time. Denver's been off 9 days? They've been off 9 days since May 22nd, right? They've been off since May 22nd. So, and you look at the Heat, they've been off 2 days now. NBA teams on the road off 2 days, and they're 6.5, 9 point favorite this year. 6-21 straight up. 14-13 against the point. See that 50%? So I wouldn't touch the side here tonight, guys. I wouldn't touch the side here tonight. But you know what? I think the over is where you go get that straight cash, homie. Hey, where's my
straight cash, homie?
Yeah, give me the over tonight in game number 1. I like Denver to win the series. 113 to 105 is what I have. You know what? Let me see what the ATS calculator has as a see. I didn't leave you guys hanging. So let's go Miami against. Let's go Denver. Survey says 221. Yeah, perfect. And got the home team winning by 3.2. Wow. Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, very interesting right there. 221. So I do like the over. So give me the over tonight. And before we go, we got to go talk about practice. 80% club.
We talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice.
80% club.
Practice, man. How silly is that?
Nope, not silly. Oh wow, yeah. Hey, you remember our Cleveland Guardians Thursday stat that I gave you guys about a month ago? Hey, remember if you go on Twitter and I gave you guys that stat, the Cleveland Guardians are 19-0-1 to the under the last 2 years on a Thirsty Thursday. Are they going to break the streak today? Because I just mentioned that stat. Hey, holy cow! Where's my?
Holy cow!
That's amazing. The Cleveland Guardians 19-0-1 as a road team playing on Thursday. Hey. We'll see how many of that stat makes the other podcast today. The New York Mets 17-3 as a home team playing on Thirsty Thursday as well. Wow, Thirsty Thursday is a very popular day. And the over 9-2 for the Reds as an away team coming off a 5-game win streak the last 10 years. So the over 9-2-0 for Cincinnati. We're off to Cincinnati, says Bill Belichick, as an away team coming off a 5-game win streak the last 10 years. Hey, bullpen, how's everybody doing? I've been watching all the replays. Golf started, and I've been playing on and off the road, says Gloria.
Put that coffee down.
Coffee's for closers, and there's our good friend Gloria K. Good morning, Gloria, and hopefully you're having a great day where you're at, and hopefully you're having fun watching your son play some golf. All right, so that is the Thirsty Thursday wrap-up show. Today was the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast. Today is Thursday, June 1st. Hey, flip a calendar. Hey, we're flipping the calendar, which is good news for NFL fans or college football fans, because that just means in another 45 days or so, the players will report in training camp. And next thing you know, we're talking about preseason football, the Hall of Fame football game, August 3rd. Hey, I was talking to Gil the Thrill Melendez the other day, and we're talking about the All-Star game. Coming close. It's coming close. I kind of got mixed feelings because my birthday's in August and I'm hitting the old 5-5 this year, so I'm not too hurry to get to the hit August 3rd type thing, right? June 1st sounds pretty good to me. All right, folks, have yourself a great, fantastic weekend. Have yourself a great Thirsty Thursday. I'll be back next Tuesday on a Ruby Tuesday. Hey, my wife says, she always says, what's with you and all these titles on ththese days? And I said, you gotta have some fun with this stuff, Hey, that's what makes the show. But I'll be back. Woo! Yeah, woo, and I'll give you one of these. Yeah, thanks, Coach. Love you bunches. Love you too, Gloria. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday on another edition of the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast. Harry Carey, take us out of here.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball. To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Joe owned the Chiefs.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here? Woo! If you smile, what the rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
nigga!